Hey there. So first and foremost, I want to mention this. I am absolutely 100% capable and willing and hopeful that you'll hire me to do this job. I am a one-man crew right now. I don't plan on hiring anybody else. So that being said, time is an issue. If this is an Airbnb, if this is something where, where I could interfere with your summer, I want to be as upfront about that as possible. With that being said, I'm going to continue forward. Now, it sounded like from the message that you wanted the whole house done. So I'm going to do the deck and the house separately in case I got that wrong. Because when I show up, this front side is fine. It doesn't need anything. Now, if you're doing the whole house, it makes sense to do it. I see a little spot up there where you probably have some bats and the fascia a little bit, but nothing bad here. So anyway, the first step is to pressure wash, as you said. With these type of houses, if there's mold or mildew, I bleach, but I try to be easy on the bleach because with this horizontal siding, what can happen at times is you'll get lines coming down from where the bleach drips down, and I don't like that. I don't want to mess anything up there. So the other thing that is part of this particular situation is because we're dealing with water and oil-based stain on a metal roof, there's a little bit more rigging that I'm going to have to do to safely get on that roof. I'm going to plan on. So that's included in the cost. Now, it may be that I'm able to just walk it. But if that gets covered in stain or water, it becomes very slippery. And even though it looks totally fine to walk on, and I'm sure it is, when you put those things on it, it's like walking on ice. So I just want to be upfront about that as part of the cost. Now, luckily, it doesn't look like a whole lot of roof work, just this. So I'd either set up some scaffolding down here and have some planks running across. More than likely, that's what I would do. Otherwise, it's going to involve some sort of planking. I don't think it's worth bringing in a lift for that little section right there. But I probably will need a ladder to get up to the top area there. So there's going to be a little bit of rigging. And I may have to buy some supplies for that, such as plywood, or I'll have to kind of figure that out. Now, this almost looks like a deck that I had done with Kevin Dye. But anyway, moving forward. So we're going to pressure wash, we're going to bleach. Now here you have a different stain than what's on the rest of the house. This is a solid pigment stain. My recommendation with this is to pressure wash the heck out of it if we're going to do it, and stain it either with an oil-based stain of a different color or the same as the house, and see what we can get off and what'll wear in. It's not worth sanding everything. It's not worth replacing, but that's not a good product to use. Now, as we look at back here, now we're talking. Now we got some stuff I can deal with. This mold and mildew, all this plywood, bleach it. 100% bleach it. And the other part that you've got to decide on, which I don't think is necessary, but it is something to consider, is if you want to bleach and spray the underside of the decking. It looks fine. What you're looking for up there is big patches of white, and that is all pollen that you're seeing up there right now, if you can even see it from the video. So I'm not too concerned about it in this present state as it is, because you're adding quite a bit of cost to do it. Now, what's included if I do the decks is the posts, the main beams going across, and the railing and the deck. Anything underneath is not included. Now, I have to look because some of this was done in a solid pigment stain. The bottom of this beam here was done in a latex product. We don't want that because latex products seal in moisture and they just don't hold up to the weather up here. Now, you have covered decks, so they stand a better chance. But it would help to kind of see what was used in the past. And my recommendation is to move forward either way with an oil-based stain. One thing you're going to find here, this is a big no-no. We have dirt to post contact here. This post looks like it's in good shape, but that needs to be dug out because anywhere where there's dirt contacting wood, it's going to rot at a much higher rate of speed and it's going to cause structural issues. And with a deck of this nature, you don't want to deal with that. So little things like that I would address as I'm going through this. I want to clear the dirt away, dig around it, and let me know because I'm a one-man show. And I do take a long time. Where I try and stand out is the quality that I offer and the attention to detail. So, that's really all I can offer is because you've got the owner of the company on every square inch of this house. So I can do a killer job, But in this market, in this economy right now, I haven't been having a whole lot of luck because a lot of people are pretty tight with their pocketbooks right now, understandably. And there's a lot of uncertainty. So as far as protecting things, if you waited, there's a product called Wet and Forget, and I recommend this in the future. It is a mold abatement product, and all you do is soak the bottom and let it sit. Now, what you're going to see on this is the bottom, you know, wherever the snow load sits. So you're in Dorrington, let's just say the bottom 6 feet of everything is what I would typically treat with that to try and avoid the mold and mildew. And you see it kind of on this board here and lower, nothing up high. This looks like it's a little more weathered, and unfortunately I can't get to the back to take a look at it. But really where the time needs to be spent here is in the prep. The actual application of the stain goes very quickly, and it's pretty straightforward because what we're dealing with is whatever canvas we have to work with, the stain is a penetrant. So it doesn't really add a whole lot to the top. It soaks into the wood and into the wood grain. So if we have a lot of discoloration, that's going to show through, and there's nothing that's going to stop that. So what we want to do is we want to address woodpecker damage, which I see just a little bit over here. And the first thing is to be aware that, where did I see that? Oh, up in there. If there is, and you look like you're in good shape, if there is a woodpecker, getting rid of it is the first step. Then I'm going to have to address the wasps because I hate dealing with bees, and it looks like there's a bunch of activity going on up there. I don't like dealing with that. So I get in here, I get rid of the pests. I don't do woodpeckers because they are protected federally. I think they're migratory birds, I'm not sure. But anyway, since I can't get back to the back, we do have a section of roof over here that would be definitely something harder to navigate. Let's see. Not impossible, but there's some rigging that would go on. Because of the lot and the access, I don't see a lift being a viable solution for that. And then this here, why is that board? Is that actual wood? That looks like pre-primed siding someone put there right by that woodpecker hole. We either replace the wood on that or we putty it. That's pretty much it. You can do tin cans, you can do whatever. But really the solution is to replace or putty. So I kind of am just going to get you started here. I'll just open discourse with this video and we can talk further because I really need to see the backside of the house. But I mean, this is a very large house. It would probably take me about 6 weeks, if I'm guessing correctly, from start to finish to get this done. And then we'd have to go over different options for what you'd like to do. And then because the windows aren't trimmed out, that saves me a lot of time. But out of that, most of it's going to be prep. Most of it's, I'm going to spend the better part of a week pressure washing everything. If there's latex on the deck railing and stuff, we're going to have to address that. And we can either continue to put that product on there if you're satisfied with it. That almost looks like it might be Trex up there. So really, I got to see the backside to see what I'm dealing with back there. But I can kind of give you an idea. And I mean, off the top of my head, we're probably in the $15,000 to $20,000 range would be my guess. Now, I don't like spitballing numbers, but at this point, I don't want to waste anybody's time if that's way out of budget. If that's something that, as a starting point, we might be able to work with, then great. I'm not married to that number. It could be more, it could be less. But I see some window detail in the back. If I can mask the whole window off, that's one thing. There's just some factors that we need to go over. So I wanted to stop by since I'm in the area and I'm doing estimates, and then just kind of open discourse, see if I might be a good fit for you. And if not, that's totally fine. I really appreciate you reaching out either way. We can add the doors. But this is probably one that we'd want to talk about either in person or at least have a phone conversation and kind of go over some of the details. And for me to be able to see the backside would be very helpful. So beautiful house. Just if you guys are in a financial situation, there's a couple things that you could do to get by for now and do the whole house at a later time. It's not in bad shape. But if you are a responsible homeowner that's keeping up on it to try and prevent that from getting to that state, then, you know, it's about that time. I mean, it's time to start thinking about it. I wouldn't be in a huge rush. If it goes until next year, you're not going to be like in a bad place. However, treating the mold on the lower part, maybe touching up some areas. This railing and this deck definitely is bare. Moving objects off of the deck, that's something else we can talk about. I paint all the boxes. I mean, I do a really nice job, and I have some references around here, but it's 10 minutes into this video. At this point, I'm not going to put together any numbers. I just spitballed a couple at you. Hopefully you get this in good spirits and we can talk further. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.